we got folks who are in their 40s still playing house, still acting like they married and they not married. All right. I ain't talking about y'all folk playing house, shacking up. I ain't talking about that. Yeah, I did say shacking up. All right. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about these folk who be talking about, girl, yes, shoot. We is married. He got me a ring and you ain't sniffed the wedding.
I like my music like my life. Turn up, turn round. I'm looking for that wife. See those fiery darts and I duck down.
Shout out to my brother Seiko because I know him and Sharon, they do the same thing. You would have a joint account. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, I hope I forget what I was going to say. Oh my goodness. It also can depend on like your background and how you were raised. Not to say that, but I'm just saying as far as what you've been taught, because but you can overcome that, because like, even you've heard me talk about how I was raised by a single mom, and not that she necessarily did it, but you had some older women or even just older single women in the church who would be like, honey, make sure you put you a nest egg to the side. And we don't necessarily believe in that. I mean, I think it's good as a couple to have some savings to fall back on for a rainy day. But as far as a nest egg, something that your spouse doesn't know about, so that in case something goes wrong, then you're setting yourself up. It's almost like you're anticipating for things to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and shout out to the mothers and the old mothers and the ones who did their best. But some of the stuff y'all taught these women about having your little nest egg to the side that he don't know about, some secret account, that stuff is toxic. And if you really take time to think about what you see at our family reunions, what you see at the family cookout, what you see at Thanksgiving, you don't see a whole bunch of male husband and wife teams coming. You see old grandmamas, old grannies, I know, listen, this is what we see. No, I'm not trying to, cast shade on, but this is the reality, especially within our demographic. You see old aunties with now one of them got a husband. And what they do is they pass that same mentality of, because they've been single, some of them their whole life, ain't never been married, ain't sniffed the ring. You see what I'm saying? Ain't none of them ever sniffed the ring, But then they pass that old sage fake wisdom down and say, baby, I'm just trying to teach you. No, what you're doing is you're projecting this toxic, because people always want to talk about this whole fake term of masculine, the toxic masculinity. Well, there's toxic femininity, all right? And one of the toxic things is to keep stuff away from your husband. And vice versa, for husbands to keep them a little stash so they can go act the fool, have their little no, listen,
so that's a thing too. Is that something that is
I don't know, no, but you know what? I cannot say that. I can't say it because I know my daddy, he just took stuff. He had him a muscle car. He had him a Mustang he worked on. And I know that man spent up to 10 to 12 grand on that mug, just fixing it up in the garage. And it wasn't nothing secret. So I can't really speak to that. Seiko and Gracious Greatness across the pine. Do y'all know if men do that? I don't know no dudes that did that. I don't know of one. Now, I've heard of women doing it, but I don't know for sure if
and I don't know, is that a thing? Because traditionally, how it used to be, to where the man was more so, the one bringing in the income.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it have anything to do with that? Before women started working outside of the home? I don't know.
So tradition. Now you got career driven men, which is cool, but you also got bums, certified bums that don't think it's any problem with living off of a woman. I'm like, dude, what is you're 32, Negro, and I would say a stronger word, get off the games. All right, stop playing Sony PlayStation, stop playing Xbox, nigga, get into reality. It is not cool to be laid up under some woman, expecting her. I'm not saying that all brothers do this, but there's a few of us out there that do that. Okay, Seiko, you said repeat the question. Do you know of any men that have a secret stash or who have practiced having funds hidden away from their wives? I don't know of any men to do that. Shout out to Sister Sharon. She showed up, so she really do love us.
Hey.
She do love us. So she was a little suspect for at first,
Not
she was
not for me. I had
she
you back
was
the
on
whole
shaky
time, Sister
ground.
Sharon. I was saying hey the whole time. I knew you would be here.
Of course you did, because you shaky with the mic just like she is.
I'm not.
You sitting up here juggling with the mic. I don't know what's wrong with this mic. You do just like her.
No, I don't. You know what? I'm not gonna let him talk about you.
You
She just wants it a
ain't
particular
gonna let me
way.
steal your joy, huh?
No.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, that sounds good in
Then I had to do the head
in the
shake
Bible.
with him.
That sounds good in the Bible, not up in here.
What more do you want from me?
All right,
That's a song. That's not a verse.
I know, but it's all based on the verse. But it's all based on the verse,
The
though.
joy of the Lord is my strength.
Yeah, there you go.
But then the song says, "This joy I have.
Yeah,
The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
well, Jermaine can.
Not up in here. Not up in here.
Not today, sirs."
Okay, so yeah, so anyways, we would say that, listen, having a joint bank account, what that does, what it speaks, what it says about your marriage. All right. Now, I don't agree with these folks who be trying to. Some folk like to play house. You know how that little game used to do? You used to have a little Ken and Barbie. Some of y'all had the black Barbies. I never had no Ken. Ain't never had no Barbies and none of that. All right. We had Transformers, Thundercats, and all that other stuff. But anyways, when we get around our little cousins and stuff, we would play house and all that stuff. But we got folks who are in their 40s still playing house, still acting like they married, and they not married. All right. I ain't talking about y'all folk playing house, shacking up. I ain't talking about that. Yeah, I did say shacking up. All right. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about these folk who be talking about, girl, yes, shoot. We is married. He got me a ring and you ain't sniffed the wedding. We ain't talking about that. We talking about folks who have actually walked down that aisle, said, till death do we part. Yes, I will. I do. Whatever one you said, I will, I do, all this stuff. So we talking about people who are vested in this mug. All right. Under the government and the covenant agreement with the Lord. All right. That's what we talking about. All right. For those of us who have done that, who have made that journey, yeah, have a joint bank account. But don't be playing house. Don't be doing all that stuff. Talking about, I'm gonna get her out of debt. I'm gonna get no. This whole fix them up before. No. Get all that stuff scraped.
I'm glad that you brought up the point. I think that's very important that we're talking about, that we reiterate or iterate the fact that we are talking about marriage, joint accounts and marriage, because I think that's key, because there could be somebody who's preparing for marriage or not married, quite yet. If you are not married, I would not recommend
no
a joint account, because you are not in covenant. So that person could
could,
yes, at any point in time and disappear.
These folks talking about
your
some
funds.
Yeah. These folks sitting up here simping to these chicks talking about stop lying. All right. I know that you smelling the draws, and I know you got the puppy love going, but until you done paid the cost, all right, y'all not married, don't start playing house. Y'all got the whole rest of y'all lives, as long as you're alive and you don't get a divorce, to do that. All right, but don't do it prematurely, because it's some dudes or it's some women that, when y'all talking about joint account, will dip out on you 20 minutes before the wedding and you ain't never seeing them again. Okay, and you have no legal recourse on that at all.
Yeah.
At all.
And Travis brings up a good point. Hey, Travis. I am saying that right. Right?
Travis.
Okay, yeah. Because I know exactly who you are. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Said that person could be a super scammer.
Oh, yeah.
You want to put that up on the screen? And that's true. I mean, they could be acting like they're someone they're not, or, in that infatuation stage and showing you their best side, and you haven't seen all sides, and then there's no covenant agreement. So at any point it could go left. They can disappear.
What can you read that? Position for millions. You know, I think this is our first time seeing this sister on here, but we appreciate you for showing up.
Welcome.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know how it ti is. But if you could read her,
Okay,
she got two of them.
okay, so she says men and women with resources secure in trust before the marriage, so they technically don't own anything.
Hmm. All right. Don't own anything. All right.
Okay, and then you want me to read this one too?
Oh yeah.
My friend has an account where she stashes funds. Her husband knows she has the account and he doesn't ask what's there. But they know that the family, I want to say, okay, I'm trying to,
But her know if the family get in pinch.
Maybe she knows if the family gets in a pinch,
Yeah,
she
see,
will come through.
yeah, and that sounds really good, but honestly, I don't think that that's an optimal way. Now, listen, if that works for them, to each his own, I guess. But we're not gonna push that because I don't agree. Like that's fine. That means this brother may not have, and this may speak to the lack of discipline he might have with maybe funds. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it shouldn't be to where, hey, I have this little secret stash away because, hey.
But it sounds like it's not secret. That sounds like something.
Oh yeah, and he don't ask what.
Or,
But see, I think you need to always be aware. We're gonna get into that in a minute. You need to always be aware of what is in what y'all have. What are y'all working with? Because if something goes down, say for instance, she goes into a coma, he has to know what's in that. He has to know. He has to know. Hey, listen. If they have to get like, if something happens where they got to get a power of attorney or something like, he needs to be in the know. It's too many folk who live in the blind. All right. And then they get blindsided and be like, well, I didn't even know. Yeah. You don't know. Listen, there are folks who have secrets. I don't believe that we need to live in this world of secret. If you live in a world of secret, at some point or another, I don't care what you say, at some point or another, if you do things secretly or you have something hidden away and somebody doesn't know this, that, and the other, somewhere in that relationship, there is a trust. It may be subtle, it may be small, or it could be something that has grown over time, but it is not optimal or it's not the best practice to have things in secret. And we're only speaking off experience. You know, we talked to other people who have been actually married longer than us, and they would say the same thing. I just don't think it's a wise practice for any spouse, for a husband to have some stash that she don't know about. You know, he knows about it, but he don't know how much money's in there, and vice versa. I think we need to be totally transparent. You know, one of the reasons, I'm gonna tell you why. One of the reasons, and we're gonna talk about the church here real quick. One of the reasons why people are so hesitant to give to the church, is because oftentimes the pastors, especially in the black church, because the pastors are not transparent with the books. They don't have financial meetings. They don't say, hey, this is what we're working with, this is what we're working towards. They don't have financial meetings. And for that reason, some people just hold on to the money. Now, some people hold on to the money because they just stingy. But then some people hold on to the money because they just don't trust the dude. All right. And so I believe the transparency is the best way to go about it.
And that's why it's a blessing. And we have seen that even with our church home. That's why the congregation is not hesitant to give, because our pastor is so transparent. He'll call meetings. He'll let you know exactly what's there, what is being spent on. And he's a giver. You know, he loves to bless others, and it just flows from the top down. And Chavis, thank you for helping me with the pronunciation. I apologize for mispronouncing it earlier. But he says secrets can be a landmine waiting to be stepped on. So yeah, you know what movie it made me think of?
What?
What is it? A Family That Prays by Tyler Perry. Remember how she had all that stuff and she had all that money, and he was like, didn't he ask the question like where it come from or something?
Where did the money come from? Like from my man.
Yeah. And so that goes back to your point. It's like, okay, you have something that you're doing that you're not.
That's when he did an about face. and came back with the fire.
Oh my I know
listen, y'all know the scene I'm talking about where she was like, he's my man, Chris. He did an about face and came around with the smoke. Y'all know, put a one in the chat if y'all know the scene I'm talking about. Put a one in the scene in the chat. Y'all know what scene I'm talking about.
But you see how the tables turn though, having that and we don't promote, anybody putting their hands on each other. That was just a movie scene. But how she lost it, you see, and the tables turn where she needed him after a while. So, but let's digress.
Yeah. So anyways, long story short, y'all, we believe in having joint accounts. We believe that's the best way to go about it.
But that's what works for us.
That's what works for us. And we believe that it works for a lot of couples that we actually know who have been married for over 15, 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I knew Seiko would know. He's straight. Yeah, Seiko know the scene too.
And Chelsea remembers too.
Yeah. Then she got humbled real quick. Yeah. So anyways, y'all, that's where we're going with that. So that's our little thing on bank accounts. Thank y'all for watching. If you like to view the full live, you can click the link at the bottom of this video. And do us a favor. We noticed that about 56% of y'all that watch our videos are not subscribed. So please consider hitting that subscribe button and smashing that bell. It costs you nothing and means a whole lot to us. Anyways, we appreciate your time. Thank you for rocking with us. God bless y'all. Y'all take care.
I like my music like my life. Turn up, turn around. I'm looking for that wife. See those 5 darts and I duck down. Hip hop head on the drill track. My truce tee, it's still black. I'm still cranking that C light. Cause boy, sin is still whack. Yo, meet the team, they uptown. Still down the clown when I come around. Rich